Soul Free with Harlan Friedman, your home for sneakers and culture, starts in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Welcome back to Soul Free here on the Soul Free Radio Network. I'm Harlan, and this is your home for sneaker and street culture. And we have a very special show. We always have a special show. But before we get started, of course, we're talking about our sneaker of the day. And I know we've talked about this before, but you know what? Being that we have the Terror Squad blackout gear on today from the infamous, basketball game 30 years ago when the blackout happened in New York City, 20 years ago, we had to bring the shoe out. We had to bring out the Air Force One, obviously one of my favorite silhouettes, but of course, the Terror Squad Air Force One, Fat Joe's initials on the back in 3 colorways. You've got the salmon, friends and family, the black and white, and of course, the porpoise. I mean, I still call it light blue, but the folks at Nike would rather call it porpoise, so I'm good with that. Big ups to Fat Joe, to Rich the Player, Chris Ritchie, everybody involved in this project. Up NYC, one of my favorite stores, especially if you're uptown, go to Up NYC, cop all your sneakers and gear there. And of course, we got to show love. We always got to show love to Joe, so we got to do coined on MTV, 1997. You know what it is. The lick. The lick. The lick that changed the sneaker game forever. So check it out. Once again, it's the Terror Squad Air Force One. Not a bad buy on your resale apps, on your GOAT or StockX. You can get it for a decent price. And we thank you. We thank you for bringing history back. Thank you, Joe. And that being said, speaking about history, we got a man who's making history every day on the interwebs. I love this dude. His everyday life is more interesting than most anybody out there. He's got a company called Fenza Productions. This is the guy, man. This is the guy. It's Fenza here on the show.
I'm next to my brother Harlan, who really has a heart of gold and has been in this game for years. So, it's a long time coming. It's all about humble people coming together and having fun.
And Al, I'm not even gonna front, man. I stalked you. I started seeing what you were doing online. I love what you do with Hug a Chef. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I got to know this guy.
Thank you, my brother.
I need this guy in my orbit because
Thank you, my brother.
You're one of the dudes too who just brings everybody around them up.
Thank you, my brother. That really means a lot. From the bottom of my heart. I always feel like I was never supposed to be here because growing up, I had a strict Italian dad. I was the black sheep of the family. Right. So every day is a blessing to be alive. Right. And more importantly, when you're having fun, success is happiness.
Absolutely.
That's what people don't realize.
Absolutely.
Success is happiness.
Yeah.
And for me, the whole Hug the Chef, I hate the word influencer. Call me a pirate of the Caribbean.
I like Pirate of the Caribbean.
Call me a pirate of the Caribbean. Yeah. I went to culinary school. I studied the art of food. I have a hummus and pesto company based in Montauk, in the Hamptons area. We do West Hampton, East Hampton, Southampton, Sag Harbor. And it was more along the lines where I studied this. And when I see other influencers out there, it's the same thing, Harlan. It's just this, that, the other thing, that, the other thing. It's just so generic. It doesn't drive me crazy, it motivates me because I remember seeing Dr. Dre in an interview and he's like, yo, I study the whack stuff because that makes my stuff better. Mm-hmm. And I take it and I run with it. And also too, as you know, there's a lot of trolls on the internet. Yeah. But my problem is my trolls, it's mostly men and they all have a pattern. They go, oh, horrible haircut, you're ugly, your tattoos are whack. They try to dissect everything from you to try to take it away from you. And from the outside looking in, you're like, bro, we know you're insecure. Yeah. Step your game up, man. Yeah. Life is beautiful.
And that's what it's about, man. It's about, you know what, you're right. It's about not looking at your victories and not looking at your wins. It's looking at your losses.
Absolutely. That's the only way you're ever really going to learn. And as crazy as this sounds, sometimes I miss a loss every now and then. Even though I lose every day and I win every day, sometimes the greatest form of learning is a loss. Mm-hmm. And, how do you think you become, as an adult growing on, and learn to learn love because you went through so many heartbreaks? Mm-hmm. I'm a married man, so those days are over, thank the Lord. But I think what it all comes to line now is that, Perfect example. I can't stand life coaches.
Right.
I'm not saying they're all bad, but
Right.
I think people that never made a space for themselves, or people that just want to just go onto this bandwagon train, they become a life coach. You want to be my life coach? Let me see your bank account. Let me see who you motivated. Because all these people say the same thing, get out of bed, these generic quotes. Listen, you got to go out there and you got to play ball.
100%.
That's how I look at it.
100%. And all right, we're gonna take it back for a minute. Obviously, dude, you're a stylish dude. Mm-hmm. You know, I love your drip.
Thank you, my brother.
Artwork
Thank you.
Sick on your arms.
Thank you.
Where did it start? For most of us, it started with a sneaker, maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe it started with like a T-shirt from a concert. Mm-hmm. Where did it start for you?
For me, well, my mother always was obsessed with Elvis, so I studied Elvis. But I didn't really appreciate music then as much as I did now.
Right.
But it was a winter day in January.
Okay.
MTV, and you know MTV was like on your TV all the time on Saturdays and Sundays.
Sure.
And I saw the Let Me Ride video by Dr. Dre. And I saw a bunch of dudes having fun, wilding out, enjoying themselves. And I remember going to my mom and I was like, Mom, is it warm in California all year round? She goes, yeah. I was like, is there a Disney out there too, a Disneyland? She goes, yeah. And then all of a sudden, that just really, but it was Eazy-E. Because for some reason, I leveled more with him as a human being. And I thought that his style of who he was, his voice, his swagger, good looking dude, I was like, yo, this is the man. And then it just slowly developed into all these things. And when it came to the tattoos, I'm big on placement.
Yeah.
When it came to the vintage T-shirts, believe it or not, I remember watching Fight Club, seeing Brad Pitt in Fight Club with those cool T-shirts. I was like, yo, where do I get shirts like this?
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends told me to go to these vintage stores in the city. Then I went to these vintage stores, and then I remember, lo and behold, one day I saw Johnny Knoxville on the wall at one of these vintage stores, and I remember, okay, Johnny Knoxville wears really cool T-shirts. And then I just started to collect T-shirts, and to have a really cool, authentic T-shirt, man, that no one else has, you pay your price. Listen, I love it all if you like name brands, but like I'd rather spend money on like a vintage Madonna shirt that no one
100%.
has. That's just my style. That's just my style.
I love it.
And with tattoos, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got a couple, and then I just started to run with it. And then one day, someone was tattooing me. He's like, "Bro, stick to all black. It's part of your skin color."
Yeah.
And then I just, because some people, they have all these colors. It looks like somebody just threw paint on them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Your aesthetic, all vibes with each other.
Thank you. And this is one of my, I got this right after I got married.
Okay.
Love is a bet you make with your soul. Just thought about it one day and it just came to mind.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, when you were rummaging through the vintage shirt racks and stuff, what was the sneaker on your feet, on your foot?
Honestly, it was Converse, because I thought that Converse, I liked Converse and Vans back then.
Sure.
And I kind of got ridiculed by my friends because they would be like, yo, what are you trying to be, a skater? What are you, a punk rocker? Bro, Vans and Converse, they go with everything. They've been around for 100 years.
Everything.
Then I got into the Jordans, and that was a craze. And then one day I realized, looking at myself, I was like, my brother, I just can't pull off the Jordans with my body type. Certain people can, certain people can't. And I honestly, we were in line one day to get a pair of Jordans. We saw a huge big fight, and it was disgusting. And I was just like, yo, I can't, well, I'm not part of this, and most of the people online aren't part of this. I just, this is not what a sneaker should be all about.
Right.
Jordan would not want this.
No.
And, but don't get me wrong, man. I still have a couple of pairs of Jordans that I will rock in the future again that are wrapped up nice. And it's crazy because, I know you love your sneakers and you love looking fresh. Bro, I saw the Freddy Krueger.
Sure, the dunks.
I saw those years ago for almost nothing.
Oh.
For almost nothing.
Oh.
And bro, when I go online now, those things are selling for like 300,000. And like, to me, they don't really, but it's just like anything else. Being exclusive, being rare is
50
everything.
pairs.
Wait,
There's 50 pairs.
There's only 50 pairs left? I thought you said you had 50 pairs.
Oh,
no, we got to go to the Bahamas after this.
No, we would
go on a private plane.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, 50 pairs of them.
Yeah, that's crazy. But also too, what this guy created with the sneaker is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, he started it all because there was like really no publicity into this. He just had the right people wearing it, and he never spent $1 on marketing. Yo, the simple things in life. You know, don't think too much.
Absolutely. And what you do, so staying away from the I word, because we're not going there, but the thing that you do, it's called Hug a Chef.
Yeah.
And when I first saw it, I was like, this is a completely organic. Al Fenza is doing this just out of the love of the industry, the love of food, the love of raising others. And I was like, that's what I aim to be. I just, it's the high tide rises all ships, and you're there helping people.
Thank you.
And I love too that I've seen you with people online, people who are charging $10,000 a month to put up the pictures of the cheese pole and this and that. You bring it real.
Yeah, and
you bring it real.
Also,
and I love what you're doing.
Yeah, some of these influencers, you're paying for them to have a lifestyle, to brag about the things they do. I have a heart and soul for these restaurants.
Yeah.
I don't want a restaurant to pay me and then see that I'm on a beach in Saint-Tropez pretending that I'm better than you. Listen, if you make money, spend it, boo-boo. That's the way how I say it. If you make money, you're allowed to spend it. Me, I'm in these streets.
Yeah.
If I'm in Barbados, I'm running around hugging chefs. I may not even be able to enjoy myself on the beach because my creativity is going to a different place. Don't get me wrong, I know how to have a good time, but I have a good time when I have to have a good time. And every day is a celebration to be alive because I did used to have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I got fired from every job for being late for lunch, for talking on the cell phone. I was never really late. And I always got told on for being like the gossiper.
Yeah.
Because listen, I love to talk, I love to meet people, and 9 to 5 is brutal, man.
Yeah.
Like here we are, I think it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're having a good time. And somebody used to tell on me is in that cubicle right now, miserable.
Yeah,
so life is beautiful.
Live your life.
Exactly. Live your life. Live your life.
Absolutely. What's been the moment with Hug a Chef? What was if you had to go back and look at all the restaurants that you've helped? And it's a beautiful thing that you do. What was the story that resonated with you the most from all the different chefs and all the different restaurants you've met and talked to?
Well, Hug the Chef happened by accident.
Okay.
And how it happened by accident was, the history of this is that the first video I started to do taco reviews, and those were going well. And then I went to Mike's Underground Pizza, and who's my best friend off of Good Pizza.
Yeah.
I gave him a hug, people liked it. Then I went to LA a few weeks later and hugged this guy, Marisco Jalisco, the greatest taco in the world. He won a Michelin star, I believe, over it. People were like, yo, I love the hug. And then one day I'm at my boy Tommy Taco's places.
Yeah. Tommy Taco.
Yeah, great taco.
I love that.
Great taco.
Yeah.
And I gave him the hug and posted it, and it blew up. Then I never did anything with those videos. Now, the reason why I started to do taco videos is because a few years ago I saw Portnoy. I was on some magical Montauk mushrooms.
Okay.
I was on a lot of things, but I was working, nothing crazy. It wasn't like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And I got to meet Portnoy, and when he walked away, because Portnoy gave birth to a lot of people, he opened the door to a lot of people. He is his own Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
That's the way how I look at it. And after he left, I was like, yo, I should go out and do tacos. I love tacos. Let's see what happens. So I see Portnoy a lot in Montauk. We always conversed. And then one day he gave me a shout out, and he followed me back on the gram.
Oh.
And when and we talked all the time. I never asked him for anything. And him and his girl have a heart of gold. She's one of the only people I know that are at a farmer's market that literally pets every pet there. And when he followed me back, my phone blew up, and it was a sentimental moment because I was thinking of my grandfathers and things like that. So I got no sleep that night, and I woke up and I turned to my wife the next day and I said, listen, I think I got to post the Hug the Chef videos. She's like, all right. I posted the first video, it was Lucharitos, and I saw like 10,000 views in like 10 minutes. I was like, okay, we're on to something.
Crazy.
That's really what did it. Every place touches my soul when I go into it. There's been videos that I thought were never going to do good that blew up, that didn't blow up. if there was ever that one, I mean, it would take me like a long time to think about it.
But you know what's hard when you've touched so many people's lives.
Yeah.
It's hard to give that one.
Yeah,
one
but
moment.
there's been people that I went to that blew up off that video.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, that's crazy. And I take back. If people hate on Portnoy because he's the whole package. That's how it is. People hate on people who are the whole package that love their life.
Nobody likes Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Michael Jordan.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I learned something from that man because I always say he's got the heart of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And it's just to give back, and the littlest thing you could do for someone could just totally blow them up.
Yeah.
So when I see that, and then people, a lot of these videos, they'll hit me up and be like, bro, I sold out of that day. I made that. So it's like, okay, things are working.
You woke up that day and you made the world a little bit better.
Thank you. And, I knew it. And, I'll never forget where I was that day when I posted it. I was in East Hampton on a baseball field because I had a farmer's market. And I'm not going to lie, every time I'm in the Hamptons, sometimes I go to that one area and I'm just, okay, I studied the art of Walt Disney my whole life. I love the man himself. The company is a little crazy, but I love the man himself and his philosophy on dreams and making your dreams happen. And one thing about him and George Lucas, bro, these guys dress so normal.
Yep.
They wore New Balance sneakers with jeans. He wore a suit every day. No tattoos, no nothing. And these guys were geniuses.
Yeah.
They took things to a whole other different level. So it's I respect that tremendously.
Yeah, yeah.
And God bless them because they opened up the door for a lot of people.
Wish upon a star and follow it.
Yeah, exactly. Wish upon a star and follow it. Yeah, exactly.
So growing up was food a huge part of you? I mean, your traditional Italian household.
Yeah, so we knew what we were having a month from now on that day. And we ate home a lot. And we were never raised on soda. We always only had ginger ale and seltzer in the house. My mother cooked for almost every day. We had pizza on Fridays, and my dad would take us to a really nice restaurant on Saturdays.
Yep.
And it's funny because we hated going out to dinner with them. Now I wish that guy was paying for my dinner table. And, we were raised on that. Both grandfathers were the chef, and I was named after my grandfather, Albert Fenza I, who had a luncheonette and everything.
Oh, wow.
Now, one thing that I knew that I was here for a real reason was that when I started to figure out to do the hummus and the pesto, it was during a very dark time in my life, but I never had any dark days.
Right, that's
dark days
sauce.
are the best
That's
days, manna sauces.
Yep.
And what had happened was I had this vision in the middle of the night one day of my grandfather over my bed. I think I had too much sugar that night, okay? I had Vermont maple syrup, which is loaded with sugar, and I was going in and out of sleep, and I had this vision of my grandfather over me, and he's like, wake up, because I felt defeated. I felt like I was never going to get out of my mom's basement, and I maybe had to get a construction job or a corporate job. And I don't knock anyone who has a job, get your money. But I knew that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I jumped up out of bed, I almost had a panic attack, ran outside, and it just clicked. Do the sauces, Albert. Do the sauces. Make the sauces. You'll be all right. And 9 months later, I got approved with the Department of Agriculture to make my hummus on the anniversary death of my grandfather, Albert Fenza, and my uncle Frankie, who's my godfather.
God winks.
So God winks. That's why I get out of bed every day.
I love it, man.
I get out of bed. And sometimes, listen, I believe in signs, I believe in I don't try to get too much depth into that, but just keep on going and going and going and going. And bro, you've seen style, you see the evolution of things, you see how trends come and go, but it's the heart, it's the passion into things. It's that Beastie Boys.
Yep.
They're like the Beatles. They're going to be around for another 100,000 years because they had their own style.
All right, I know we got to get going here, but before we get going, if we were going out for dinner tonight, and you said, "Yo, Harlan, we're going to go kick it. We're going to go to this spot. Where are we going out for dinner? What are we? We don't even have to say a restaurant name. What are we eating? Tell me what we're eating."
Well, you know what? In all honesty, since me and you are vibes and we like the aesthetics and we want to chill and we don't want to rush afterwards, me and you are going to Bellatos to get a bolognese, some of that bread, some of that Caesar, and just chill because we could chill there, we could feel like $1 million, and we could walk around Mulberry Street afterwards. We could hang out. We're not going to want to leave, but that bolognese is gonna be like our breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we're gonna laugh. We're gonna one thing is too how hot that restaurant is. It's a family-run business. You got the mother in the back, the brothers in the back. You got everyone there working.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna feel that vibe with you. I'm gonna chill. We're gonna laugh, and we're gonna see the aesthetics, and we're gonna hang out around Mulberry Street where my ancestors were, and maybe your ancestors having a good time because there's so much history there.
Yep.
We're gonna get a cannoli afterwards, and we're not gonna want to leave, and we're gonna feel fulfilled.
I might ask you though. I might say, hey, listen, instead of the cannoli, can we go around the corner to Prince Street and get a little Mexican corn?
I'm down with that. I just don't. I do 4 or 5 videos a day, so I'll have Mexican street corn after a bolognese.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference to me.
We'll throw it down.
And honestly, I may stop on the Lemon Ice King of Corona on the way home.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little bagel at Oasis on the
Yeah,
way?
exactly. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Yeah. No scallion cream cheese. Scallion cream cheese.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Harlan.
Al, I think together we can get to about 400 pounds.
Exactly.
I think we can do it.
Exactly.
Once again, it's Al Fenza. Check him out on Instagram, Al Fenza, ALFENZA, Al Fenza Productions, Manna Sauce. Pick it up. It's the best hummus out there. And of course, Hug a Chef. Just follow him on Instagram. You'll see it all. Once again, thank you to everybody who makes this show happen. Thank you to our friends at Optics and Oconee Eyewear. Of course, Portia of Huntington, Hugo Boss, Notorious Pink. And you can always catch me on Instagram at The Official Harlan. And thank you to everybody at the Drake Media Network, and we're on all the platforms where you download your podcasts under Soul Free. That's SOLE free. See you real soon.